what's going on, everyone? It's Moose here with Airguns of Michigan, and today we're going to be talking about the MX7 MAX5 in camo by Aselkon. This gun came to me to be reviewed. I have already made the determination that this gun is absolutely going to be part of my personal collection. Before we get started on the gun, let's talk about what comes with the gun. What comes with the gun is this very nice case. The only issue that I had with the case is that once I scoped the gun will no longer fit into the case with its scope on. However, that's not a real big deal. Most of my scopes have quick detaches, and they are very capable of just remounting off, back and forth. So I understand that there's an accuracy thing later on, but still, it's not a game breaker for me, or a deal breaker, I should say, at all. The case does appear to be very well made. I actually put some pretty decent pressure on it, and as it flexes, it still doesn't cave, which is a very nice feature. So cool that it comes with a case. We all like cases, and obviously really like to get them with most of the guns that we purchase. This was actually the tag that was on the gun. It does explain that it has a 2-year warranty. So there's that. The manual is excellent, and I'll get to that in a second. You actually have your warranty card that comes with this, as well as an Aselkon sticker, which I'm going to actually print out some of those in vinyl to add to my case, as well as the back window of my car, where I also advertise Airguns of Michigan. Now, one very, very cool thing about this particular manual that I appreciate immensely is a full parts list, as well as deconstructive blown up photos of the entire gun. There's actually a follow-up page as well that actually talks about the stock, the silencer, the magazine, and things of that nature. So along with a parts list. So hats off to Aselkon for thinking about that, because lots of us, we have to go out and find those things on our own, if we can even find them. And that makes for kind of a crappy deal, to be honest with you. We did get a baggie full of O-rings, as well as our quick fill adapter, which, I have oodles of these because a lot of guns come with them. And I've already got one on the end of my air tank, as well as on the end of my compressor. It does come with 2 Allen keys. It does also come with some high-tech Aselkon lubricating gun oil, which is kind of nice. Guess I should turn my light down a little bit. I do apologize for that, guys. But either way, it comes with a bottle of lube. And the absolute game changer that takes place here is they send you a barrel band. Listen, thank you, Aselkon. Good idea. Great idea. Can't praise you enough for including one of these, so that gunners like myself don't have to, if we so want to, have to go out and pay somebody $30 or more to have a 3D printed one shipped to us that may or may not hold up to the pressures that we, put on our guns. This is actually injection molded, at least it appears to be. I'm certain that it is. And dude, awesome. Comes with a freaking barrel band. All right, let's get down to the gun now. This is my MX7 MAX5 in camo. I did thread a Donnie FL tattoo on the end of this because it has a little bit of a bark. The end is already pre-threaded, half 20. So it is ready to accept a moderator. The fill port is located right at the end of the gun here. Oh, my fingers are a little greasy. Very easy to fill. Actually have your, oh, here it is, your bottle fill manometer. And you know what, I'm going to turn that light down just while we're sitting here, just a tad, so the contrast is just a little bit better. There we go. Sorry about that again, guys, for the beginning, but hopefully that makes a much better picture. So the manometer is here for the actual fill tube, and then we also have the regulator pressure. My regulator in this gun started out when I first got the gun, which was yesterday, at roughly 120 bar. After shooting it, it's come down to about 110 bar. So the regulator is settling nicely. Very cool. I'm glad to see that. I will be lowering this regulator even more, only because I think that with a little bit of tuning, this gun is capable of some serious power and accuracy. I did post a picture out on Instagram, as well as the Aselkon owners group on Facebook yesterday. Last night I shot in the dark with just a small little flashlight on my target at 30 yards. And I had about the tip of my thumb as a group. And I mean, I was impressed for having a scope that doesn't have a illuminated reticle. It was a little difficult to keep my point of aim. So I don't want it to be a fair representation of what this gun's capable of, because now that it's daylight out, I think this gun is much more capable of shooting some very impressive groups at 25, 30, 50, and maybe we'll see once I can get out to the big range, 75 and 100. But I have high hopes. One thing that did not come with the gun is this here Picatinny rail. This Picatinny rail was actually off of my Benjamin Kratos, and you will see that the gun itself actually comes threaded, but no Picatinny rail came with it. So I put that on there just simply to be able to prop the gun up and show you guys, as well as maybe even some shooting today. So like I said, this is not part of what comes with the gun. Don't expect that you will see a Picatinny rail. It just won't be there. I did go ahead and top this here with a Monstrum Alpha first focal plane. This is the 6-24 by 50 millimeter, and it's an amazingly good scope in my opinion, especially for guns of short stature. It's not a super heavy scope. It balances out well on the gun. The gun itself, it's a middleweight, okay? It's not super duper light, but it's not extremely heavy. If any of you guys own a Bull Boss, it is nowhere near that heavy. It is somewhere, I don't know. I'm going to have to measure it and weigh it. I will get to that. This is really kind of just an introduction video. But I can tell you that it's very nice to shoulder. It handles extremely well. I shot it offhand a little bit last night as well. It is cool because it's ambidextrous. The way that this swoops up here in the bottom for your palm swell, right? Your hand kind of fits in there. It's the same on the other side. So whether you're shooting it right or left-handed, it is the same either way. So that is very nice. The gun did come with a nice coat of oil on it, which I appreciate, because considering these guns are making a trek from Turkey, who knows what kind of stuff they're seeing. They're obviously seeing shipping containers, more than likely on a ship, and salt air, things like that. It's just kind of nice to see that they came with a a thing of oil. The magazines themselves, and of course I didn't bring one over, but we will. I'll show you guys those. Matter of fact, here.
A few moments later.
All right. The magazines here are very straightforward type magazines, just to show you. I did find that the JSB Hades 15.89 grain pellets seem to fly pretty well in this gun. The magazine is your typical swing open. It does go clockwise. First pellet actually goes in skirt first from the rear. And then here's where it gets really cool. These magazines are very, very thick. If you can see that magazine compared to this pellet. Let me see if I can. The pellet is honestly only about half the length of the width of the magazine, which tells me that no matter what pellet or slug I want to put into this magazine, it should have no problem receiving it, considering, like I said, it's only about this. When these pellets drop in, they literally are like half the width of this magazine. So very cool that, you know, for those of you that, you know, have shot the Predator polymags in the past, and you know, haven't been able to get them into your magazine into whatever gun you're shooting, and then you've had to wait for the shorts. Well, that is no longer, doesn't appear to be an issue at all, just due to the thickness of that magazine, and obviously the thickness of the opening here. The magazine does slide in from the right side of the gun into the left, very similarly to the Kratos. Those of you that have watched my videos on that, which is kind of nice. There is a magnet on the bottom of the magazine and a magnet on the inside of the receiver. So it does make a nice positive click, as well as it even has a little lip here at the bottom of the magazine so that the magazine will only go in one way, and it has a nice positive click before closing the breech. I didn't want to load this gun. But overall, like I said, it's been an amazing gun so far. I'm going to be taking it apart, adjusting the regulator, playing with the hammer spring. I will shoot another video on how to go about doing that. But, you know, it's one of those things that I'm certain that once I do that, I could potentially void my warranty. And also, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, I highly recommend against playing with regulators and things of that nature. And certainly if you're going to do that, please make sure that you degas your gun 100% before you start messing with internals. This is a lot of pressure, and it can cause a lot of great damage to you as well as your gun. So, but there's my first look at the Aselkon MX7 MAX5 in camo, 22 caliber. I don't think I mentioned that in the beginning. I do apologize, but this gun is definitely on my keep it list. So I will be purchasing this gun for my personal collection. Outside of that, I'm Moose. This is Airguns Michigan, and we'll catch you guys next time. Might be this gun, might be another gun, but either way, we'll have another gun. Take care.